my name is Katya, and I taught pendulum patterns. So the first thing we talked about was this pattern, which I called the grandfather clock. So what we talked about was that both hands were going to do a pendulum from their native side to their non-native side, and then a loop back. So pendulum, loop. Both hands are doing that. So to get started on it, we started with both hands on the same side, and then got both the poi started, and then one hand would do the loop, and the other hand would do the pendulum. Yeah. And then you just do that back. And you sort of get into this pattern. Next we talked about a closely related pattern, which was this. How we talked about learning that was putting your poi on your hand, flicking it over, grabbing the other one, doing that, and then just sort of getting more and more comfortable with that idea until you can sort of just do it without your hands. And so how these patterns are closely related was if you did this same one without, here we have like a hand-to-poi relationship, and if you do it with a hand-to-head relationship, it's actually very similar to the grandfather clock. The only difference is that the grandfather clock, the poi are sort of going in a sort of forward butterfly kind of pattern. They're going like in from the outside, and in this one they're going out. But otherwise they're basically the same. So those are two of the things we talked about. We also talked about pendulums in 3-beat weaves. So we went over this idea. So you're doing this 3-beat weave, and then you sort of do a pendulum, and then you can come back into a reverse 3-beat weave. And then from a reverse, the pendulums have to go forward. Like that. Alright? And you can sort of turn with this and come back out in the other direction. And you can end up in the grandfather clock from there. So those are just some things we talked about. With the 3-beat weave thing, so make sure that the hand starting the pendulums first is the one doing the first beat on its non-native side. So in the 3-beat weave, the hand that just did the overbeat does the pendulum first. And in the reverse 3-beat weave, the hand that just did the underbeat does the pendulum first. So keep that in mind. Alright, what did we talk about next? Okay, yeah, next we talked about this pattern. This sort of, again, a sort of quarter phasing kind of feel, just like the grandfather clock is a sort of quarter phasing. So here we just did two sort of big pendulums with loops on the end, so I'll just demonstrate. And it had a turn there. So the thing you keep in mind is that if you just do it with your hands, say in this case your right hand is leading, your right hand starts first, and your left hand will follow when the right hand hits the bottom. So that's what the sort of quarter phasing idea is. See how my hands are 90 degrees? So that's when they go. And then you just follow your leading hand and turn with your leading hand. If you're having trouble with it, I found it helpful to sort of just do one iteration. So start in split time, forward split time. Start leading with your right hand, follow with your left hand, and then end in forward split time. We briefly also discussed using that same idea, that same pattern, but just putting like other things on the ends. So in this one, first we finished the big extended pendulum, then we put in a loop. But you can also do it the other way. You can loop the other way, like that. It's the exact same pattern. You can also put like a mini pendulum here. You know, get creative. Do whatever you want. I think that's about all we talked about.